Hello and welcome to the Student StarCraft AI Tournament weekly broadcast. Running a little bit late today, so apologies for that. This is Nightcat. I will be your host for today. There's been a lot of development going on in the Brood War AI scene with the COG tournament coming up here. A submission deadline has passed, so we've got number of AIs that have been worked on and received improvements, updates, etc. So a lot of recommended games from some of those AIs. Looking forward to what we will see from them today. Gonna get through as many games as we can, but give the games their due justice. I grabbed about 7 off of the replay channel. So, we'll see how many of those we can work through. And there were more than 7 too, so we're back to having a backlog that we probably can't work through each episode. So, with that, let me grab a really quick drink here and we'll dive into our first game. Oh, that's interesting. I did not know you could do retract messages on YouTube chat. That's actually kind of neat. But so, actually wait, let me check volume level on the background music really quick. I think it's already down. Okay, cool. So jumping into our first match here, we have a Hans Bredberg spawning as the Teal Terran up in the top left. Also, it's interesting casting in OpenBW now, because I've been doing a lot of casting in Remastered, so might take me a minute to kind of get used to the OpenBW interface again. And then we have, as the yellow Protoss, Kangaroobot spawning. So this is on Jade, which if you are watching the Babe tournament casts at all, which if you are not, shame on you. It's an excellent tournament that was held where the authors of several of these AI, I miss not being able to right click and follow a unit. But where several of the authors have played against each other, and it's the actual authors playing another AI, so it's been a lot of fun. Is this the night mode casting? Oh, the screen is black? Oh. Hold on a second. Oh. I see why. Dark Templar vision. Ah. Thank you for catching that. I can fix this. My stream deck was not pointing to the right stream. I thought something was weird when multiple ones of these lit up when they should not have. There we go. Hello, everybody. Alright, let's go ahead and get this started again. So, Hans Bredberg up at the top left, as I said, Teal Terran. Kangaroobot, the yellow Protoss down in the bottom left. So the new thing that I implemented, yeah. I was trying to implement Purple Wave's Happy Vision in OpenBW. It didn't quite work right. No, I'm kidding, that wasn't it. Although that would be really awesome to have that Happy Vision on demand in OpenBW's replay viewer. But now, so this game was, so when this was recommended, Hans responded saying that he has not seen his bot behave close to the way that it was intended to behave until this game, or maybe not quite worded like that, but along those lines. So I'm pretty, that SCV kind of slid up there pretty interestingly. It was like extending one of its arms. It looked kind of strange, but so I'm excited to see how that is. And then down in the bottom left we have Kangaroobot. Actually, there is no, hold on one second. I think audio is also not right here. Ignore my settings. Not that that showed anything. No? Okay, that's set to use the right device. Huh. Too late, already saw a password. Huh. Yeah, we're not getting any of the game sounds, which is kind of interesting. Chrome, yeah, is not having any audio come out of it, so... Unfortunately, I guess we'll just go this particular game without audio, and then if it still persists in the next one, might take a moment to troubleshoot that. But we do have KangarooBot here coming out with the 2 2 zealots right away. Tab silent? I don't think it is. You know what? Give me just a moment. I am going to troubleshoot this. We're going to go back to the starting soon screen really quick. Gosh, I guess it's been so long since I've done OpenBW that it's just like... No, the tab's not silent. I mute, unmute site, maybe? Let me try changing the output device to my speakers really quick. And let's see if there is sound if I do that. So let's come back in here. And let's see if I hear sound out of my speakers. The 2 zealots here are coming up toward the natural, just inching their way slowly. And no, I don't hear any sound out of my speakers either. So, not sure what the issue is with the audio. Maybe I just need to like restart Chrome altogether or something. But yeah, it looks like here we do have the zealots now deciding to dive in. Gonna get some worker kills here. Actually, a good number of worker kills. Wow. A worker count dropping there for Hans, who still actually has a lead in the worker count. And take a few more of the workers there. And the Marines, there's enough Marines that with the right micro could probably handle this, but they are really being cautious here. Now taking a lot of shots with the Zealots, doing the back and forth dance. But the Marines also doing some back and forth dance, so not really getting any shots off of their own. Sound works or not sometimes. Yeah, and so that's what I did there. I was listening for like, okay, is there going to be any audio coming from the workers there? And there was none coming out of my speakers, so it's just not playing any of the audio at the moment. Maybe I need to refresh the tab or something, but we'll try a few more things after this game ends, I think. And so here looks like gonna maybe dive back in behind this. We're starting goon production here, but there are a lot of Marines. No academy yet though for Hans, so no medics aren't going to be in sight for a little bit, but a large enough Marine force can be devastating the gateway troops for Protoss here. Yeah, we'll wait till the next replay to give refreshing a try, and we'll see if that fixes things. Looks like the only thing that might be a problem is, I guess, if there's any nukes from Hans, we are going to be more likely to miss them, which will be very, very unfortunate here. But it looks like the Marine force is going to tear through these goons with the reinforcements dribbling in here. The Marines just able to out DPS these goons here actually quickly rather, whittling away at the numbers, pushing this all the way back to the natural, which has not been taken yet for KangarooBot. But the Marine numbers are looking a little bit low here. The reinforcements not arriving as quick as they were before. And now KangarooBot able to repel this right before its own choke. Pushing forward again, but it's not going to be able to keep up with these Marines with just Zealots and Dragoons. Medics now starting to enter the mix as well, so going to be able to heal those Marines pretty soon here. And KangarooBot really spreading out its structures here. Does have the Citadel. Does it have leg speed? Not quite yet, it looks like. And now going to go ahead and retreat all the way back into the main, next to the one cannon that it's built in the main. Yeah, there's no, I thought there was still like a sound effect that might played when the nuke got launched, but it didn't say like nuclear launch detected, but that might just be me imagining things. It's been a while since we've seen nukes in OpenBW. And now, Han's going up to the top right. I don't think Hans actually knows this is KangarooBot's base, because I don't think Han scouts with its workers at all. So it looks like it's being led astray here, going, scouting in the wrong direction, not realizing that, oh, well, the army was retreating over here, so most likely their base is over here. But now KangarooBot getting a little bit aggressive here, trying to move back up into that natural, but there's going to be too much still, again, to repel. Medics are now on the field as well. Do we have stim? We don't. Or yeah, we do have stim. Okay, good. So yeah, probably a lot of stim going on here. Pushing this Protoss army back. Another gateway being thrown down here as the natural has been taken. Now the Bioball still not sure where KangarooBot is. Gonna go ahead to the bottom right, which is giving KangarooBot an opportunity to, you know, try and make a move on this natural again. So I guess if anything, even though these aren't really doing damage, these little excursions by KangarooBot, they are keeping Hans from really confirming where KangarooBot is now, but KangarooBot now potentially leading Hans to this base, and if they see buildings, oh, but they're wanting to go down to that bottom right, so as soon as they get far enough away, Hans' bot's just trying to turn around and go to that bottom right. But perhaps now almost enough to see this Nexus, so maybe going to know here soon that this is where KangarooBot is, and now it has to know. And so now we can see just the reinforcements streaming down here from the barracks. Ghosts now coming into play for Hans. And Hans really not expanding as much as I normally see it expand in these matchups, which is allowing it to get this nice larger army here. Robotics facility just finishing up here for KangarooBot, perhaps going into Reavers. Nope, we got Observatory. So still no splash damage available to KangarooBot, but the attack from Hans kind of fizzling out here, just not quite having enough. Ghosts are out now, but getting chewed up by the Zealots very quickly there, as they did not retreat with the fellow Marines. And then chasing all the way back here to the natural, but again, I think the reinforcements, now with the defender's advantage, is probably going to be enough to push this back. Just checking out the Ghost, so, no Ghost, okay, Cloak and Lockdown have been researched. So it will be possible for the Ghost. There is an Observer, though, out here now, okay. So I wasn't sure if the Observer had joined up with the army just yet. And now the natural for Hans is going to fall, but Hans does still have this third base here, which has been discovered. It looked like maybe KangarooBot was going to want to take that for their own base. And going ahead and backing off, there's a lot of ghosts. Hans' army is almost entirely ghosts at this point, and it is producing nothing but ghosts. Hans? You doing all right, buddy? Are you winning, son? Because that's a lot of ghosts. It has expanded now up here. Looks like it also expanded over here, so there may have been some expansions, and now we're getting the lockdowns on the Dragoons. Okay, there is a Marine in the mix here now, and the entire Protoss army is just locked down here. Gonna be able to clean these up before the lockdowns run out. Getting directly on top of the enemy, too. Now moving on, it looks like the bottom right here was trying to be taken by Hans, but gonna be cleaned up by KangarooBot. And I think KangarooBot is just kind of discovering these expansions while trying to take expansions. They're going to lock down on the Observer. Very nice. There was the scan and then lockdown. And still just mostly all ghost production here. I don't think I've ever seen it make its army pure ghost before, so this is a real treat. And another scan and lockdown on the Observer, picking it off. No use of Cloak just yet, but that energy seems to be much more useful on the lockdown. The poor Observers can't get a break here. Oh, and there we did have Cloak and another one. There's a few cloaked ghosts going down in there. But now trying to move to this bottom right here, trying to clear this up so that, or the military units that were there so that they could go ahead and expand. And it looks like it's not quite deciding to charge in here just yet, but honestly, there's so many ghosts, I think it probably could. Just taking a look at the upgrades here. They have 2 armor, but no attack. Getting that 3rd armor level. And the poor Dragoons just getting locked down as this army is now marching potentially into the natural here. Taking some shots on the cannons. Look like there's an SCV maybe trying to go to this base, maybe not quite aware that it's been taken just yet. And now the massive ghost army here marching into the natural. Taking out all the probes. Marching now into down the reverse ramp into the main. Any Dragoon that comes out is just quickly being locked down. I think ghosts do less damage to Dragoons, but it doesn't matter if the Dragoon is locked down for long enough, it will die. And yeah, just... Jeez, you don't need nukes really when you've got that many ghosts just tearing through it. I was just checking to see, you know, is there a nuke silo or anything like that? And there is not a nuke silo left yet, but a lot of the bases got destroyed before probably those could be set up. Yeah, let's just take a look at the army tab here. 86 ghosts, 10 marines, 2 medics. That is just crazy. No army left on the scene for Kangaroo Bot. Kangaroo Bot down to just 100 minerals, 13 workers. I think we will speed this up just a little bit here. Maybe a little bit of issue here around the gas. Some of the ghosts not really attacking it. But once it falls, the operation returns to normal. Actually, that just seems to be perhaps an issue for buildings in general. Hans kind of swarms around the building and then has some troubles with attacking it, but overall still enough to get the job done. Hans now taking over. I think this is going to be a... yeah, there is a nuke. We do have one nuke complete and another one being made, so maybe we will still see the nukes fall. The medics here just tanking the shots. Oh, it looks like we do have... Did we? No, we didn't quite get a nuke. Might have launched it from in range of the cannons, unfortunately, so the ghost got taken out. Yeah, with that, we will speed up just a little bit here. Oh, I sped up, and then, of course, there's a nuke, so hold on. Of course, the moment I speed it up is when the nuke happens, right? Come on. Where's the nuke? So that falls, and then... There's the army spreading out the nuke on the Nexus here. And then the glorious 0.125 speed nuke. All of the probes go bye-bye. You'll love to see it. And then the jumbled mess of army there. Holy crap, that was a tornado of units there. But in the end, Hans Bredberg coming out with the win here. Very fun game. And just 74 nukes, 74 nukes. 74 ghosts at the end, 25 marines, 11 medics. Love to see that type of play. Let's see if refreshing here. If we F5, if this will get the sound to work. Yep, there's sound. Okay. So now we have the unit sounds again. And just really quick. Because we didn't have sound for that glorious moment. See, it does play a little sound. There we go. Just wanted to get the audio for that nuke. Alrighty, let's go into our second game of today. Let's get into our second game of today. There we go. We have Insanity Bot spawning as the red Terran down in the bottom right of Talcross, 3-player map, going up against Steamhammer, the teal Protoss spawning at the top right. And so this replay was recommended as just showing Insanity Bot actually being able to play mech without crashing. So always a good accomplishment when your AI is able to complete a strategy or, you know, complete a game without crashing. Looks like Insanity Bot going ahead and getting that scout off pretty early. Normally you might want to scout on like 12 or 13, but going ahead out there, finding the opponent. Would be kind of funny to see Terran do attacking the Nexus. And unfortunately, I don't know if it's because of the placement or if it was just Steamhammer doing it, but you know, each new probe was fighting the SCV to the death. So here, Steamhammer getting its gateway. Oh, because I refreshed, we lost the production tab, so there we go. Barracks coming down for Insanity Bot, and now the gas is underway. Look like these two idle SCVs perhaps having been chosen to mine gas, moving already for that. Now going ahead and getting the bunker. Maybe a little issue with multiple SCVs going out to complete the same job, but you'll have that sometimes. Now the command center going down in the natural. Meanwhile, we're getting our second gateway, so maybe we'll see like third pylon. So looking to see if we'll see like maybe a 2-gate robo. Looks like we're gonna get an expand though. So overall, other than a few timing things, it's looking like a pretty standard TVP so far. And unfortunately, Steamhammer throwing away the Dragoon at the bunker there, and now the second Dragoon coming in. A little bit more SCVs than needed to be pulled, really, to for that repair. You only really need like about 1 SCV per Dragoon that's hitting. So some of that gas mining being interrupted, and also some of the workers that are carrying gas being sent to minerals and losing that gas gathering. So a little bit of economic damage being done there that was not intended really by Steamhammer. But Steamhammer just kind of throwing units away one at a time at this bunker. But now that it knows the siege tank is there, they are staying back a bit more, respecting that siege tank more than they respect that bunker. They're trying to dive in here with the 4 Dragoons. This siege tank could maybe be back a little bit more to utilize the protection of this bunker, but also no repair going down for the tank. There was a repair for the bunker rather, but not for tank. We do have a Reaver out on the field now, but no shuttle, so it's gonna crawl all the way to the Terran base. And here we have the Dragoons kind of diving again, losing a few more, so Steamhammer just continuing to bleed units here. The Reaver finally making it down here to the front line. Looks like a third base being started here. You know, you could, like, push out and defend along this to more defend this third, because right now the third's kind of open. Nice Reaver shot coming in there, but getting picked off by the tanks. You can't really dance in and out of a tank's, I mean, you really shouldn't dance in and out of a tank's range regardless, but the Reaver's a bit slower, can't do it as fast. And then here we have more Protoss units just being sacrificed here to the Terran Siege Tank practice range, or yeah, practice range here. Turrets going down, I like that. You know, get the defense. You see the Reaver, you know those are in play. You don't know whether your opponent has shuttles or not, though. The fact that the Reaver is just kind of on the ground there is kind of a tell that there's no shuttle out, at least not yet. But getting those turrets, getting some Goliaths like this. We're on 3 base. We've got 3 gas. We've got 3 machine shops. A very nice look here from the Terran. Would like to see them move out onto the field a little bit more, but really, I mean, Steamhammer's just kind of been giving units freely, though this one Dragoon does manage to find this base, and so now they're kind of the way these Reavers are moving, trying to just stay out of the range of the tanks there, but also get over there to the left. Now they're wandering into view. They're getting destroyed there, but Insanity Bot really needs to kind of get over there to that left and guard that third, but not doing so. Behind this, Steamhammer has gone ahead and taken their third, is taking their fourth, looks like to be taking a fifth now before the fourth even finishes, so gonna be in some issues here if they don't really push the issue. Yeah, losing this third is very unfortunate. Definitely have the forces to defend it, but if your forces are just gonna sit at home, they're not gonna be able to defend it. And now we're back to Protoss just kind of throwing units away here. I'm looking to see what kind of tech we might get out of Steamhammer. You know, if we'll see Arbiters or something else. Right now it's just looking like Gateway Man with some Reavers. There is an Observer here, but nothing to detect, so it's just kind of sitting there back at home. Could be using it for vision. Now looks like we are getting a move out here from Insanity Bot. There's a bit of odd unit stacking happening here. And here, like a little bit of a unit vortex. Eventually, it is mostly resolving itself. There we go. Now it has resolved itself. And then the Terran Army, I like this, the leapfrogging that the tanks are doing here. Just pushing this Protoss army back. A little bit of the Protoss army here coming around to the side. Looks like they want to expand. Maybe not the best choice of expansions at the moment with this push coming, but really though, like, so Steamhammer is really low on supply for the amount of bases that it has. It only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 gateways. And it's constantly bleeding units to the Terran Siege tanks, so at the moment this is not a good position for Steamhammer to be in. Lower in supply with the Terran pushing at you is never a good situation to be in. One thing I noticed is that Insanity Bot is not using the mines. Could be using those to protect the siege tanks a little bit, but really with the supply... Oh, I like that the scan picking off the Observer there. Another scan with the Goliaths going ahead and picking off the Observers. But yeah, it looks like Insanity Bot here is going to go ahead and push into this natural here. The Goliath Vulture army maybe getting a little bit ahead of the tanks here. and actually getting cleaned up because of it. But I think there's just too many tanks for the Dragoons to really handle, and Dragoons are pretty much all that Steamhammer is producing right now. If there had been like a round of Speed Zealots or something like that, you know, might have been able to do some damage to these tanks, but the goons just becoming blue goop. Yeah, I think there's just too many tanks here. There's, what, like 21 of them? That poor Goliath getting splash damaged from the tanks. Which, can we talk for a sec about how, like, Terran units are the only ones that hurt themselves with, or hurt their own team units with splash damage? Protoss Reavers don't do it. Lurkers, which are kind of like splash damage, basically, they don't hurt their own units. What is with that? Yeah, here we are moving into the main now, and unfortunately, Steamhammer has not really produced much of anything anywhere else. Now throwing down some gateways in some random spots, but I think we will... Oh, yeah, okay, Storm does, but I don't know if I really consider that. I guess the main question is, why don't Reavers splash damage? EMP is Terran, Chobo. That's another example of Terran hurting themselves. Now we have the Goliaths here doing some interesting dancing as they are firing down the units here. We'll go up to like 4 speed here for the cleanup. Sure, spend all their intelligence on not friendly firing with none left for pathing. That is a good one. That might be. Said Reavers would be useless with Zealots. Fair enough, and with that, Insanity Bot will take the win in that game. And we will check out here this next one. We have Stardust spawning as the blue Protoss on Python, going up against McRave Z. And McRave Z has been doing some exciting changes with their Zerg bot. That I will be especially looking forward to see, as I have not watched any games of McRave Z yet, so I'm excited to see how this performs. And looks like with the Pylon Scout, Stardust will find McRave Z down here in the bottom middle. It looks like they are going for... Is it going to be 11 hatch? Nope, 12 hatch, okay. Just getting the drone in position pretty early there. I don't know if I agree with continuing to chase the probe, just because you've, like, needing to chase the probe. Okay, there it goes. Now we're getting the spawning pool. But chasing the probe initially just to make sure that it doesn't try any shenanigans to block your natural hatchery makes sense. But once that natural hatchery is gone, I mean, the only other thing that maybe it could do is steal the gas, but I don't think gas steal is really all that common in PVT. Or, sorry, PVZ. And then very nice timing there with the transfer, getting the drone there just as that hatchery was finishing. And now we do have a lair coming down, so looks like this will be a 2 hatchery into lair type play. Meanwhile, core coming down for Stardust, so we will see that not drone, but the Dragoon production pretty soon here. Dragoon Zealot underway. We are getting some Sunkens here to keep the natural safe. Once this layer is done, a little bit more gas being gathered here. Maybe a little bit of inefficiencies here with the drones. There's some transfer from the natural to the extractor here. And now we have the spire coming down. A little bit of a dive there by Stardust, but a little bit too much here. Throwing down another Sunken. And this was something that McRave was talking about too, with the Sunkens sort of lining up with the choke point here to give maximum coverage for those Sunkens to do damage. Morphin a few more just to make sure that they're safe. The units stop dancing and form a nice little concave there. I like the way that looked. The spire, once it's done. Now we have the Mutalisks getting ready here. Meanwhile, behind this, Stardust has taken its natural, is on 4 gateways. Let's see what this Mutalisk Cloud can do here. Going around the enemy army straight to the probe lines. We were at 35 workers. Let's see what we dropped to from this. No reaction from Stardust. The army's still just sitting here at the natural choke. There are some Dragoons here, but they're a little bit too afraid to engage with the Mutalisks. There are some cannons here in the main going to prevent the Mutalisk crash there, but down to 22 workers from that. That was huge with those probes not being pulled from the natural. And now that the Mutalisks just looking for where they can snipe some more. The damaged Mutalisks being pulled back with fresh ones coming in when needed. Not even caring about the cannons there, just going straight for the probes. Stardust lower on workers than McRave at this point. 20 workers to 21 there for a moment, and now the natural had been repopulated, but no cannons still, so just offering up those free probes, just being eviscerated here by the Mutalisks of McRave. And we have 12 of them on the field, with the weak ones being pulled back and then fresher ones being put back in. So this Mutalisk Cloud, very scary here with its movements. Meanwhile, Stardust is growing its army and thinking about attacking the Sunkens, but there's so many Sunkens. It's almost like Crazy Zerg style that you see in ZVT, except it's ZVP, and they're just delaying to keep alive for these Mutalisks. The Mutalisks diving back in, keeping the worker count so low for Stardust that Stardust can't get an army large enough to really push into these Sunkens. Stardust really needs to just pull those Dragoons home. And it looks like it's starting to now, but Bravesy pulling the Mutalisks back. They're a little bit too damaged here. I'm trying to keep an eye on where they're going. Oh, they're back at the natural here. And again, it seems like Stardust gets up to a certain number of probes and then we'll sort of repopulate that natural, but without any support or cannons there, it's just going to continue to bleed workers there. Looks like McRave's a little bit hesitant to approach at this angle. Now going in for the cannons themselves, or at least one of them. Continuing to work on the workers. McRave's up 34 to 18 right now. And really that Protoss army that's just sitting outside this natural, not able to do anything with this large number of sunken colonies. Mutalisks coming back home for right now to regroup and I like how the damaged Mutalisks are just hovering over the main worker line here until they're ready to go. Now the Mutalisk Cloud coming back up. We're out to 17 Mutalisks out on the field. So few probes for Stardust. The last cannon here in the main going down. The last probes are at the natural here. That last goon gets picked off, and with these probes not running anywhere and not building any cannons, I think this is going to be it for Stardust. Actually, Stardust did take this top right island expansion though, so does still have income. I was wondering, I was like, wait, 17 workers and those last probes just got taken out. Those weren't the last probes. But even with that, the main is going to fall now. You really don't have a lot of building space here in this top right island. that the Mutalisk cloud, just too much. Meanwhile, the army is still just dancing here outside of Sunken Range. It looks like McRave Z is occasionally sending a drone out that gets killed. I think McRave Z wants to expand, but can't because of this army, but really doesn't need to because the Mutalisks here are just destroying the base of Stardust. And at this point, we will speed things up a little bit more here. The army trying to come home, but just getting cleaned up here by the Mutalisks. Not even firing. Now they fire. They come home to defend the empty, the destroyed Ire. But now it's a question of, will McRave Z find this base in the top right? This cloud looks like they're going up to explore there, and yep, they do go ahead and find it. And with that, the Mutalisks have spoken. Do take the win there from Stardust. A very fun game. Up into our next one here, which sees Banana Brain spawning as the teal Protoss up in the top right of Fighting Spirit, with Haupan spawning as the hard to see on the minimap brown Terran down in the bottom left. I'm still thinking about that game, that last game with those Mutalisks. Just the way that they move was very, very impressive with their threat awareness, and the way that they just said, I don't care about your cannons, I'm going for your probes. Very, very great to see, and I'm excited to see what McRave Z is able to do in the COG competition. Alpine going for the wall here. Probe gonna get in since the other depot here was not started. With the probe, it's kind of like what is it, the Bates, no, Hotel California or whatever. You can check in, but you can never check out. So that probe's not getting out of there. Trying to, but not able to do so. Looks like behind this, Banana Brain is going ahead and getting its expansion here. Upon going ahead and throwing down the factory. Just 2 workers on gas for the moment. Getting another supply depot, it looks like. Here we have the Zealots standing guard at the choke. Machine shop just finishes up, and as soon as it does, we get a tank, and that should be, I imagine, siege mode. Yep. Second gas being taken by Banana Brain, but really has a large glut of gas here. Not really spending it on much, and really doesn't have a lot that it can spend it on. It is starting its Dragoon production now, but only 1 gateway. And I like this position by Haupan, using the high ground to its advantage. This tank able to fire on quite a range here. Maybe not exactly what I'm circling, but gives a lot of coverage here for this position out just on this inside of the bridge, as well as the choke of the natural here. A little bit of a move out here. I'm not sure what this SCV is doing. I mean, it's mostly vultures that are coming in to clear out these zealots. The SCV, for a moment, I thought I realized, like, wait, what am I doing out here? I'm not sure what that is. There's another SCV. What? Is it just trying to scout with it? I'm so confused, but because of the SCV, the Dragoons were being hesitant there to engage, but now they're just not going down there. Perhaps scared of the mines that were laid by the vultures, and now tanks coming up to join the fight. A few vultures going uphill and then kind of straying, but the tanks now here forcing this back. The SCV's doing the repair. And now Halpon flooding into the main here. Losing that vision of the high ground, though, is allowing these Dragoons to sort of come down and maybe break this. A lot of those mines, because they were so close, got triggered by just one Zealot, not quite able to kill it. Banana Brain able to hold off the attack, suffered some damage, though, but in the end, just only behind by like 2 workers. So Banana Brain here, doing okay for what's happened to it so far, but Halpon continuing to try and push this here, but this lone tank is not going to be able to do much against that number of Dragoons. But Halpon does not want to take the foot off the pedal here, continuing to apply pressure to their opponent here, bringing in more tanks, more vultures, more SCVs here. Like the unsieged micro here from Halpon. Pulling back because of the Zealots, but really needs just some more units here that can just put some space between the Protoss army and them. Now doing a siege up here, with the Dragoons kind of diving in on them. Again, not a whole lot there to support the tanks. Oh, and that mine kind of backfiring. 3 Dragoons did fall, but I think 2 to 3 tanks did as well. Banana Brain has even been able to establish a 3rd during this. And looks to be continuing up their tech tree. Did get the product support bay. There's also a shuttle out, but I don't believe that a Reaver has come out just yet, so I think the shuttle is alone. And now just trying to move back across this bridge, but there's just a lot here from Banana Brain now, having been able to establish the 3rd base. But perhaps overextending a little bit here does push the Terran army back, but with the Observer and the Dragoons is able to clear out this minefield. Maybe not overextending, as the reinforcements here have been steadily trickling in for Banana Brain without a lot of challenge thanks to that minefield. The army getting a little bit disjointed here, chasing after some stray vultures. So this force that was moving to the natural of Halpon, not quite at the strength that it could be, trying to take the double gas middle base here. And nice defense matrix here. Did hear a Reaver fall down there, and Halpon just actually passing it, trying to get to this natural. We have a large contingent of the Templar coming down here. Banana Brain being able to push this army back. A good storm going off. Another good storm on those vultures, getting a lot of kills. This might be a push that Halpon just can't quite push back yet. More storms coming down here. The army now fighting dangerously over top of its own mines. And now the fight finally being brought here to Halpon's natural, but Halpon able to deflect it a little bit, just the attack fizzling out just as it was getting there. Halpon has taken a 3rd and a 4th base as well. Looks to be taking a... no, not taking a 5th. As I said, they are currently the color that is hard to see on the mini-map here. Banana Brain has also taken a 4th, though, so Nice storms going off on the workers. Dropping that worker count now down to 40 of them. Very good work here by Banana Brain, getting into this natural, trying to repair the command center there, but not quite being able to do it. Nice little EMP there, but I think it's a little bit too late. The third has been cleaned up by Banana Brain. The fourth is looking like it will be cleaned up soon, as well as this Protoss army tries to work its way up the ramp. Yeah, at this point, there's just going to be no fighting back here for Haupan. Very well played by Banana Brain. Love that aggression by Haupan, but Haupan never letting up on it, just not quite able to trade well with Banana Brain there, and just in the end being overpowered here by Banana Brain. Very nice play from both of these. And I loved the high ground usage by Haupan too. You don't see that a whole lot with the AIs. And the last stand of the stalwart Terrans. Little conference of the High Templars on the command center here, but in the end it was not. What is this? It is found is what it is. In the end, it was not meant to be. Well played by both of the bots there. Okay, so getting into our next game here, we have... Turn the speed down a little bit. Then we have Fresh Meat spawning as the light blue Terran, or sorry, light blue Zerg of Talcross. Top right. Going up against the brown Protoss. Again, color that's hard to see on the minimap is Tier Protoss. I forget the comments for this one from the Discord for its recommendations, so really anything could happen here. An interesting Tier Protoss getting the forge here in the main. Sorry if you guys heard that. That sneeze came out of nowhere on me. Had like no warning that sneeze was gonna happen. So here we do have third base being taken here, so going for a 3-hatch opener. Tier Protoss cannoning up its main. Which is a little bit unusual. You would maybe want to cannon up like here, so you could take your natural at least, but... Looks like there's not going to be a lot of action here in the early game. We are getting a gateway now, though. And there's the gas I was expecting. Zoom in. You can't zoom in on OpenBW, unfortunately. Or are you saying zoom in on my sneeze? Yeah, one thing I wish that the Open BW replay viewer had that I've been spoiled with is the ability to right-click a unit and just have the camera follow it. Oh, you can zoom in on? Huh. I don't... A slight zoom in glitch, you think? This actually... I didn't know that changing that would actually affect the screen size too. Interesting. I don't know, that's kind of an inconvenient shortcut. Yeah, it technically zooms in your browser. I mean, it messes with the UI, but honestly, there's still space. Granted, the production is now off, so hold on. Go ahead. You can just do that. It doesn't look bad. And also just use a smaller window. Yeah, I mean, I did see somebody in the comments of one of the casts ask if we could zoom in a little bit, so I'll keep this in mind. Maybe we'll do a little bit more zoomed in general, and then when we have big battles, I can zoom out, but I didn't think that messing with the zoom on the browser would actually modify the screen space that the graphics took up. So that is a pretty cool trick. See, I'm learning all kinds of new things here about OpenBW Replay Viewer that if this weren't live, would never learn. Or I would never learn, I guess. Meanwhile, Fresh Meat has got a lurker aspect, is getting Ultralisk Cavern. A lot of this game has passed while we've just been playing with the UI. But what's funny about that is neither AI has attacked each other. Tier Protoss being so defensive, not even taking its natural yet. We're like 9 minutes into the game here. I'm not sure what's going on. The nice lurker defense here, but like... I don't... Oh, okay, now we do have Tier coming across the map. Some of the army, though, getting there a bit ahead. Those lurkers really chewing through Protoss units. One lurker does fall. I think if that army had been larger, like had it been supported off of 2 bases, might have been able to do some damage there, but now we do have the Ultralisks out. It's, the space is gonna mine out, like... Tier, you're gonna need to expand. But also the Zerg is, just sort of turtling here too, so... This is, I mean, I don't know if I have much to say. I don't know what to say. We've got 4 Ultralisks, 90 Zerglings, 5 Lurkers. The Zerglings are cracklings. We've got the Adrenal Glands and the Speed upgrade. We also have Chitness Armor for the Ultralisks. You know, it's starting to... Uh-oh, and here they come. Here comes the Zerg Flood now, coming out of that main. A lot of Zerglings dying, but there is just so much Zerg here. The Dragoon slowly falling, trying to hold back this flood of Zerg, but... I don't think they're going to be able to withstand this. The units continuing to flood in from Fresh Meat as well. Fresh Meat now into the natural, which was finally just taken by Tier Protoss, but I like this. Some of the army pushing into the main while the rest of the army cleaned up the natural, and now the Zerg army on top of the tanks here. Yeah, with that now gonna clean up the main, so rather interesting game where both AI just sort of turtled until they wanted to do an attack, although Fresh Meat turtled on 3 bases, and really that 3rd base probably could have been taken out by Tier's push if it had moved for it. Although maybe that would have encouraged Fresh Meat to come out of its shell a little bit earlier, but good game by Fresh Meat, just overwhelming with the number of Zerglings and Ultralisks, and will Fresh Meat find this? My bet is yes. And there we go. And so with that, Tier Protoss will tap out and give the game to Fresh Meat. I think we have time for one more game here. We can go ahead and do Purple Wave versus Banana Brain. Because I know Purple Wave has gone through a lot of updates for COG as well. So I want to get a game with them in here from the recommended channel. We have Purple Wave spawning as the orange Protoss up in the top right. We have Banana Brain spawning as the teal Protoss down in the bottom left. And I don't think Banana Brain was updated for COG, right? I'm pretty sure that it was not. Oh, it was? Okay. I'm not as familiar for some reason with the updates that Banana Brain got for COG. About a week before COG and has been updated since. Okay. That is good. Oh, that was more like the tech unit usage, I think, that we saw in the earlier game. Then, right? We got the second pylon coming down. Purple Wave got the gas. No core just yet. Oh, and there goes the core now. Banana Brain going for a 2-gate opener here. Moving out with 3 zealots across the map. Purple Wave having a couple zealots of its own. 1 Dragoon is underway, so should be able to hold this off here. Trying the delay for that Dragoon to finish, though. And now that it has, getting a favorable engage there. Able to take out one of the Dragoon, or zealots rather. And for whatever reason, the back zealot was not attacking, just taking the hugs from Purple Wave zealot. And now with 2 Dragoons out, should be able to repel this attack here. Gonna have to do a little bit of micro. No, the Dragoon's getting a little bit cornered there. Reinforcements continuing to come in for Banana Brain, but now at this point it looks like able to repel the attack. But now once they get up to 4 again, they're willing to engage, and they could corner these Dragoons. Managed to take 1 out, and now there's Dragoons of their own out for Banana Brain. Meanwhile, we do have a Templar Archive down for Purple Wave. It looks like both of them are actually going for Dark Templar with no detection for the other. So we could end up in a bit of a base race situation here if the AI are not too careful. Got the armies moving out here. The Dark Templar are going to find each other pretty soon here. Looks like Banana Brain using the Dark Templar in with their army. Now as the army falls back, the Dark Templar are pursuing Purple Wave's army. There is a forge underway now. Opting to attack the Nexus instead of trying to dive in on the workers. Interesting choice here. Will take out the natural here. Meanwhile, Purple Wave's Dark Templars are taking out the pylon that was powering the gateways. And Banana Brain opting to get an observatory as opposed to a forge, losing a lot of probes here, down to 2 workers for Purple Wave, and now 0. But now the Dark Templar for Purple Wave diving in on the probes of Banana Brain. There's nothing, even if an observer were to pop, to actually fight. Now getting cannons, but might be too late. And there is an observer following closely, observing what's happening. There is 1 zealot, but was enough to kill 1 of them. And now we're just in a Dark Templar base race here. But Purple Wave, recognizing the situation, has an actual army that can come clean up the base faster. So I think Banana Brain is, or sorry, not Banana Brain, but Purple Wave is going to be able to get this one. And it looks like Banana Brain was actually able to finish off the Dark Templar that were in its base. And really, this is a bit of a nail biter. It might come down to this last assimilator here. These 4 Dark Templar are chewing through Purple Wave's buildings very quickly here. Faster than the Dragoons of Purple Wave. This is the last building here. If this falls before the base of Banana Brain. And with that, Banana Brain takes the win just barely. 4 Dark Templar able to clear out the base faster than a handful of Dragoons. Very well played there by both of the bots. It was an interesting game to watch there with the base trade happening. And with that, I think we will call it a cast here. Definitely a very entertaining one. A lot of fun games that were selected this week. A lot of cool updates from all of the authors here that are participating in COG this year. A lot of fun to see. And just one more time. Those Mutalisks were amazing from McRaveZ to watch. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and joining me today here for this cast. That's been a lot of fun. Again, there are links in the description down below to the SSCAIT Discord, to Schnail, where you can play against some of these AI that are uploaded there in a 1.16 StarCraft client. It's a lot of fun if you want to give them a try. There is also, I think, a link to the SSCAIT website and a few other places that you can go and check out. So again, thank you for tuning in, and until next time, take care.